I asked Saint Germain for channel guidance on how to unlock manifestation abilities. You see, you have emotional barriers that keep you from admitting who your true source is. You must recognize that, you're feeling that separation and it's frightening. When you're authentic, you then become an expression of Source. And as that expression of Source, you have all the powers of creation.
Welcome, beautiful souls, to Becoming Awesome with Peter D., channeling Saint Germain.
Hey, beautiful souls. Let's welcome Saint Germain, old friend, back to our channel today, talking about unlocking manifestation abilities during all the earth changes that are taking place right now. Please add your comments below because this is a discussion. Let's dive right in. Dearest souls, thank you for this moment of connection. As much as we enjoy being your teacher in this moment, it is more about the pleasure of the connection to you. You see, the energetic connection that is established is the teaching. These are words, yes, to describe it, but it is the energetic. This is where you're headed. And yes, on your topic of manifestation, this energetic that you hold is your key to unlocking. We will explain after this moment of just telling you how much we love you. You are loved and you are blessed. Please let that come in. That will activate manifestation abilities if you are certain and understand the truth that you are loved and divine. Now, the biggest obstacle you are facing is your mistaken reliance on what you call Source. Now, we're not talking about Source, the divine. Okay? We're talking about who gives you your paycheck. Many of you think that your job is your source, or, your activities are your source, your savings, retirement is your source. No, your source is your source. And because you think, well, I need to get this in my bank account, many of you, when you try to do your manifestations, you sit there and you say, I want to go on a cruise ship trip. And you say, oh, it's going to cost this. And you think you need to manifest the money because you think it's going to cost this. So you made your source money in that moment instead of just going directly to source and saying, I'm on a cruise, which could look like anything, a gift, winning a prize, anything. Somebody else inviting you because they had an extra ticket. Right? So you automatically, unconsciously cut source out of the equation thinking you need something else to get what it is you desire. And for most of you, it means your job or your income source. And you make that your source, and then you wonder why you're cut off from source. Big source, capital S. Okay? So, as you understand and make source your source, then it doesn't matter what's your paycheck, what's in your bank account, what's happening with the economy or the jobs being cut or purged or this or that. And of course, you're scared. Well, what am I going to do because I'm going to run out of money, right? So you're already in the future, even though in that moment you got food on the table and stuff in your mouth. If you weren't solid enough to be in a place to watch this video, you wouldn't be having the opportunity to be scared. You'd be dealing with the situation of not having. But for most of you, it's a mental creation that you build it up, the what if of the future, taking totally out of the moment. And of course, source can do anything instantly, right? Oh, so when you say this prayer of, oh, I need this money because I'm worried about this, then what you're really saying is, oh, I don't trust you, source, and you got to give me stuff that I can see in 3D so I can feel better about myself. In other words, you're making the 3D stuff, bank account, your source. You see? It really is going into a place of faith. Oh, faith is scary. Yes, absolutely, faith is scary, because if you're totally in faith, then there's really not anything to fear, because there's no fear anymore. But you can't get there because the fear is the barrier. So what's really stopping you is, one, the mental construct that something else is your source, and then two, being afraid of experiencing. We don't know why balloons just came on this screen, but it makes us laugh, and hopefully it makes you happy too. What computers can do here in our realms. And when I was on the planet as Saint Germain, no, there were not things like this, but we enjoyed what just took place. And getting back to explaining, you see, you have emotional barriers that keep you from admitting who your true source is. Your fear. And oftentimes your anger. You hold a lot of resentment about what has happened to you monetarily or financially, or with what you deserve or believe you deserve. Now, what is at the root of that? At the root of all of that is a belief system that boils down to, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve, I'm not worthy, I'm not loved, I'm not lovable. And the emotion we talk about when we talk about this fear is not so much the fear of the situation. It is the fear of facing what you truly believe about myself. Oh my God, I might not be loved and lovable, and that's going to be painful. We all deal with that. You are separate from your source because you're in 3D in a physical, dense energy. Of course, that was the game you chose to play so you could expand and grow, and not just grow back into source, but push the boundaries of reality itself. So you must recognize that, yeah, you're feeling that separation, and it's frightening. And with that comes the anger. And of course, the sadness of what can be like abandonment. Now, you must clear all of that. And this is one of the reasons we enjoy so much working with this channel. Peter, he has worked diligently to create programs like his 14-day program that is a free guide you can get to teach you how to address what we are talking about. It is not the only way. There are many ways, but it is a beautiful way, and especially if you're worried about abundance, it is free. He's minding us to tell you, and we are telling you, look at the messages below to find a place to click to get this. Now, getting back to this idea of I'm not worthy, I don't deserve, I'm not loved. This is a harsh reality to face. And you cannot face it until you clear the emotional density that is keeping you from it. In other words, feel the pain of your separation. Cry and express that. Not worry about what's happening in the future. That is a mental anxiety spinning that keeps you as a buffer between the moment of your pain. And then you can address the unconscious belief of I am not worthy, I am not good enough, I don't deserve, I am not loved, I am not lovable. Now, many people say, oh, well, I've addressed all this. I've been in therapy, and I believe I'm lovable. Well, how come you're not manifesting everything you want then? It's pretty factual. Your insides always match your outsides. If you are seeing lack on your outside, then you're holding lack on your inside, which at its root is these core unconscious beliefs. So are you willing to address that and say, oh, I have done all this work, which is another mental thing to keep you from feeling how much it hurts. You keep putting bandages on bandages on bandages, and the sore is just getting bigger and more diseased. And that sore is the disconnect you're feeling. And the pain of that disconnect, the expression of the pain of that disconnect, is then what makes you connected. I know this sounds backwards, but it is how it is. You release what separates you, the density of the pain. You release it through its expression, sadness by crying, anger by yelling, fear by shaking and screaming. You release it, and then you're open, and then source comes in, then you're connected. And in that moment of connection, you then have all the powers of creation at your fingertips. Now, you can keep mentally focusing on this, and there are many beautiful programs. You meditate this often, and you keep focusing and holding and holding and focusing. Some programs talk about getting into nothingness, which is great if you can get there, but if you're holding these densities, very difficult to do. Okay. You can keep doing that, but if you're not getting the results you want in your manifestation, you're missing the boat, and you're missing the primary separation point of keeping you from feeling your truth. And when you feel your truth, you'll be connected, and then you'll know source is my source, and that's when you have faith. Till then, you just keep doing your affirmations and whistling in the dark. I'm going to trust source. I'm going to trust source. But no, if you're still freaking out and scared, you're not really trusting source enough to even be authentic with yourself. Yes, this is your biggest blockage that you will be able to release. And then you will be able to manifest accordingly. This is part of why we speak to you of being authentic. Because when you're authentic, you then become an expression of source. And as that expression of source, you have all the powers of creation. Hence you manifest. Now, those of you who are practitioners of the law of attraction know the beauty and power of that. But we are going to just take a stab. We know it is correct, is not a stab, but for those of you watching, it may sound like a wild guess. That for most of you listening, you haven't been able to use the law of attraction to get what you want. Some people have, but most not. Why? Because you do not understand the power of your unconscious yet. Your unconscious magnifies 1,000 times the power than your conscious mind when it comes to attraction. So you're working on your affirmations. I am abundant. I have this. I have that. And yet your unconscious is, I'm not worthy. I don't deserve. What do you think is going to be your reality? This is why earlier we said if you see it happening around you, you don't have the abundance you desire, then you know that what is going on is not correct. Proof is in the pudding as it is spoken on your planet. Now, the way to get to that unconscious is, as we've been speaking, peeling back the layers of emotion that keep you from seeing it. And for many of you, this is often something that's too scary, too big, because it goes back to hurts and wounds from childhood. When you were small, maybe you had parents who hurt you, or at least emotionally abused you, or spoke ugly to you because you tried to express and you knew it was not safe to let that out. So you shut all this stuff back. Maybe you just didn't do it because it wasn't part of your culture. It could be something simple. It doesn't have to be something extreme, as the example we gave you. But whatever reason, you did not express. And because you did not express, then your emotion was held trapped. And that creates the density that cuts you off from source, keeps you from having the manifestation powers of the divine because you're no longer with the divine. So you get there through feeling and expressing. And as you feel and express, you give anger on its own terms to be angry, sadness on its own terms to be sad. Oh, we love this camera. Whatever it is doing, we enjoyed that immensely. So you express anger on the terms of its own. To be sad, you be sad. To be angry, you be angry. To be fearful, you shake, frightened. You do it on those terms, and then the energy is released. Then you go into the unconscious beliefs, and you see, oh, I am not worthy. I don't deserve. I'm not loved. I'm not good enough. I'm not lovable. And you replace them. This is its own art, the replacement. You can just ask Source to give you auspicious qualities. Or you can use many programs like that are out there for replacement, but they are not going to be effective if you don't do the release work first. So this channel, Peter has always said, never take something out without putting something better back in. This is what he is referring to in this instance, to be filled with these auspicious qualities. And it can be as simple a prayer as, Divine, fill me with love, fill me with trust, fill me with your grace. Divine, make my connection stronger. Thank you. And you give gratitude that you are receiving it. He likes to use the imagination of a beam of light, a healing ray coming from the central sun to the top of your head. We will use that methodology in a few moments when we send our transmission to help activate you. But remember, the activation is most important after you've done the release. And then you start to put in the new programming that you are abundant. And you will see it'll be way more effective than just your affirmations that you've been making, because you will have fertile soil. Basically, you've been throwing affirmations on concrete, like seeds on concrete, and wondering why they don't take hold and sprout and grow. Well, because the soil has not been prepared, has not been watered and nurtured, which is what we are talking about when you first identify that you're really holding, that you do not have trust, that you're fearful of surrendering to what you believe is around you, and especially those emotions. So this is your biggest barrier. And understand, it is your unconscious that is generating most of it, 1,000 times stronger than your conscious mind. And know that if you are not having the manifestation quickly and abundantly, then you are holding these, and you can work to clear those. And as we have mentioned, because we are excited to say this, there are programs out there, including one that is free, that Peter and his wife has created, that can give you the foundation you need to understand and actualize this process, so you can become abundant, so the planet can become abundant. And then you will no longer have to listen to videos through another channel like Peter. You can speak to us directly, and we can celebrate and have all those balloons and fireworks that we have been seeing show up for reasons that are not understood. But again, this is a video on manifestation and miracles. So yes, thank you. More, please. Whatever beautiful symbols this camera wants to create. Like that one. Yes, thank you. Okay, so we are going to go into this transmission now. And let us use the methodology that Peter is comfortable and familiar with. So, first of all, give gratitude that you are connected to Source. And the point of this is to understand that Source is your source, not your job, not your bank account, not your finances, that you can have access to anything because you are a divine child of Source. And you're never alone. So many people think, oh, I have to work hard on all this. No, 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 no. Just hold Source's hand. Just be a little kid and hold their hand. That's all it takes. Yes, you have to work, but the work is, okay, Source, hold my hand. And then while your hand is held, then you can do the work of finding out what your blockages are, clearing those out and releasing them, so you're able to receive the gifts. You're in the candy shop, but you can't eat the candy because you're outside in the window, because you have that density between you, which is the belief of not worthy, not good enough, etc., not loved. And then it's held in place by the dense emotion, that pane of glass. Today's activation is so you can see this and begin moving towards the release and fulfillment that you desire. So, please imagine a column of golden love light coming from the central sun directly to the top of your head. Feel it. It is palpable. It is your own personal healing activation ray directly from your source. Whatever your name for the divine is, ask, receive directly. We are only going to amplify this for you. Beautiful. Feel that come to the top of your head. Yes. Now, breathe it on into your heart. And as it passes through your head, notice bubbling and tickling, reorganization, rewiring. I am loved. I am lovable. I deserve. I am worthy. I am good enough. Feel it. Know you're being reprogrammed. All those tickles. Now breathe it into your heart. When it gets to your heart lights up and glows. And exhale it from the inside out. Exhale it to where you feel those tensions, those anxieties, the fear, send it there. The anger, send it there. These are all welcomed feelings. Nothing is not allowed. Everything is welcome under Source's umbrella and guidance. Breathe it in. Feel it tickle through your head. Watch your heart light up and glow. Exhale it to the inside of your body through everything. Now, with gratitude, pray. Thank you, Divine, that I am activated to manifest. Thank you, Divine, that I am now able to release and claim my power by letting go of everything keeping me separate from you. Thank you, Divine, for the understanding you are my source. Please receive as we amplify this. Yes, shrug your shoulders so you relax. There's more room to let it in. Ah, very good. Beautiful. Now, that's it. Tap on your heart 2 or 3 times to get a vibration. Good, 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 good. Move your hands to relaxed now. You're open. Just receive. We're going to bring it up again. Yes, yes. Let it come in. We're going to turn up the volume even more now. Nice deep breath. Shrug those shoulders one more time. Relax. Hands on your heart now. Fill with divine love from your source. Source is feeding you. Be grateful as you're aware of it. Yes, drink it in. It is so beautiful. Let it fill you. Now close your eyes to pause. Pause this tape if you wish. When you're ready, open your eyes and give gratitude for everything you received, for knowing you are connected to Source in ways you had not yet understood. Actualize it. When you're ready, restart the video. Tracy and I are so excited to announce the ABCs of Ascension program. It's yours for free. It's a 14-day program where you can have the foundational teachings and guided processes to start laying the ground for your own growth and ascension into 5D. Go to becomingawesome.one to sign up. That's becomingawesome.one, and it's yours at no charge. 14 days of the most powerful teachings and processes that Tracy and I have learned from traveling all over the world, from spending hundreds of thousands of dollars to learn from masters, and we're giving it to you at no charge because we want to see the whole planet ascend. And we know if you follow this 14-day program, you can grow into a beautiful version of yourself with all the skills and abilities you see from channelers and everybody else who has ascended in their progress. Becomingawesome.one, becomingawesome.one. Sign up for the free 14-day ABCs of Ascension program. Hey gang, that was super beautiful. Gosh, I love me some Saint Germain. It was crazy whatever the camera was doing. Saint Germain was just tickled by it. So I was just like, what? But anyway, So the message today was source is your source. And when you know that, you're going to let go of what's stopping you from connecting to source, which was the fears and especially the unconscious beliefs, which is way more powerful than the conscious beliefs when it comes for manifesting. So, sweet ones, know you are loved dearly. I felt that coming through the transmission. I'm sure you did. Hey, a like and a subscribe would really help the channel, help support Tracy and I. And please share this. There's a lot of people who want to manifest. Help them know how and receive the energy to manifest. All right. Leave your comments below. This is a discussion. Stay blessed.